actually begins. Before OffSec teaches you how to attack systems, they want you to understand what cybersecurity really is in practice. This learning unit exists to reset how you think about security, not as a technical trick, not as a checklist, but as an ongoing practice shaped by people, systems, and risk. Module 2, Introduction to Cybersecurity. Learning Unit 1, The Practice of Cybersecurity. Objective 1, recognize the challenges unique to information security. To understand cybersecurity, we must first understand why information security is different from other types of security. In physical security, you protect physical objects. A building has walls, a room has doors, a safe has a lock. If someone breaks in, you usually notice immediately. Information security does not work this way. Information can be copied without being removed, accessed without being noticed, modified without visible damage. If data is stolen, the original still exists. This creates a unique challenge. You cannot protect information by simply locking it away, because information must still be stored, processed, transmitted. Every time information moves, it creates an opportunity for exposure. Another major challenge is remote access. Attackers do not need to be physically present. They can attack from another city, from another country, or from another continent. Time zones do not matter. Distance does not matter. Only access matters. Complexity as a security challenge. Modern systems are complex. A single application might depend on an operating system, multiple libraries, databases, APIs, cloud services, third-party vendors. Each layer introduces configuration decisions, potential vulnerabilities, and trust assumptions. Security failures often occur not because one component is broken, but because multiple components interact in unexpected ways. This is why cybersecurity is difficult. Defenders must understand everything. Attackers only need to find one weakness. This imbalance defines information security. Human behavior as a security challenge. Another unique challenge to cybersecurity is human behavior. People reuse passwords, click links without thinking, trust systems too much, make mistakes under pressure. Many security incidents do not involve advanced exploits. They involve weak credentials, phishing emails, and misconfigurations. Cybersecurity must account for human error. This is why security is not only technical, it is also psychological and procedural. Learning Objective 2. Understand how offensive and defensive security reflect each other. Cybersecurity has two major perspectives: offensive security and defensive security. Offensive security focuses on how systems are broken, how weaknesses are exploited, how controls are bypassed. Defensive security focuses on how systems are protected, how attacks are detected, how incidents are contained. These perspectives are deeply connected. They are not separate disciplines. They are reflections of each other. How attacks shape defenses. Most defensive controls exist because attacks happened first. Firewalls exist because attackers scanned networks. Authentication exists because attackers abused open access. Monitoring exists because attackers hid their activity. Every defense is a response to an attack. How attacks shape defenses. Attackers adapt to defenses. When firewalls improve, attackers find new paths. When detection improves, attackers try to hide better. When patching improves, attackers target misconfigurations. This creates a continuous cycle. Cybersecurity is not static. It evolves constantly through this interaction. Why OffSec teaches offensive security. OffSec focuses on offensive security because understanding attacks reveals weaknesses. A penetration tester's role is not just to break systems, but to show how and why they break. This knowledge improves defensive decisions. To defend something well, you must understand how it can fail. Target Learning Objective 3. Begin to build a mental model of useful mindsets applicable to information security. Cybersecurity is not about memorizing commands. It is about developing a security mindset. OffSec wants you to start building this mindset early. Thinking in terms of failure. A security mindset assumes systems will fail, controls will break, humans will make mistakes. Security planning starts with the question, what happens when this fails? Not, will this ever fail? Failure is expected. The goal is to reduce impact, detect quickly, and recover effectively. Questioning assumptions. Many systems are insecure because assumptions go unchallenged. Assumptions like users will behave correctly, systems will be configured properly, software will be used as intended. Attackers thrive on assumptions. A security mindset constantly asks, what if this assumption is wrong? What if this is misused? What if this behaves differently under stress? Risk-based thinking. Security is not about perfection. Perfect security does not exist. Security is about risk management. Risk-based thinking asks, what is the likelihood of failure? What is the impact if it happens? Is the risk acceptable? This mindset helps prioritize effort. Not all problems are equal. Not all vulnerabilities matter equally. OSCP expects you to think in terms of risk, not fear. Curiosity and patience. A penetration tester must be curious. You must be willing to explore unfamiliar systems, investigate strange behavior, and spend time understanding details. Rushing leads to mistakes. Patience leads to insight. This mindset becomes critical later in PEN-200 labs and during the OSCP exam. This learning unit establishes how cybersecurity is practiced as an ongoing process shaped by attackers and defenders, influenced by human behavior, and guided by mindset rather than tools. The next learning unit will build on this foundation by introducing threats and threat actors and explaining who attacks systems and why.
Now we move to the next logical question. Who are we protecting systems from and why? Cybersecurity does not exist in isolation. It exists because threats exist. This learning unit introduces the idea of threats and threat actors and helps you understand how attacks happen in the real world. Learning Unit 2, Threats and Threat Actors. Learning Objective 1. Understand how attackers and defenders learn from each other. Cybersecurity is not a one-sided activity. It is a continuous interaction between attackers and defenders. Attackers observe defenses. Defenders observe attacks. Each side learns, adapts, and evolves. How attackers learn. Attackers study security tools, network architectures, defensive patterns, and public documentation. They analyze how systems are protected, where monitoring exists, what responses are triggered. Attackers do not randomly attack systems. They research first. They look for predictable behavior, default configurations, and known weaknesses. This learning process allows attackers to improve efficiency and success. How defenders learn. Defenders learn by analyzing incidents, reviewing logs, studying malware, and reading breach reports. Each successful attack becomes a lesson. Defenders update security controls, detection rules, and response procedures. Over time, this strengthens defenses. The feedback loop. This creates a feedback loop. An attack leads to a defense leads to a new attack technique. That technique leads to better detection. This loop never ends. This is why cybersecurity knowledge changes faster than many other fields. OSCP is designed around this reality. You are not being trained to memorize answers. You are being trained to adapt. Learning Objective 2. Understand the differences between risks, threats, vulnerabilities, and exploits. These four terms are fundamental. They are the language of cybersecurity. Misunderstanding them leads to confusion and poor security decisions. Let's break them down slowly. What is a vulnerability? A vulnerability is a weakness. It can exist in software, hardware, configuration, process, or human behavior. Examples include outdated software, weak passwords, misconfigured permissions, and exposed services. A vulnerability by itself does not guarantee an attack. It simply means something could go wrong. What is a threat? A threat is a potential danger. It represents something capable of causing harm. A threat could be a malicious attacker, a piece of malware, a natural event, or human error. A threat does not require a vulnerability to exist, but it cannot cause harm without one. What is an exploit? An exploit is a method. It is how a vulnerability is used. An exploit takes advantage of a weakness. It produces unintended behavior. Exploits can be automated, manual, simple, or highly complex. In OSCP, you will learn how exploits work, but only after understanding why they work. What is risk? Risk combines likelihood and impact. Risk asks, how likely is this to happen? How bad would it be if it did? A vulnerability with no realistic threat may represent low risk. A small vulnerability in a critical system may represent high risk. Cybersecurity decisions are based on risk, not fear. Why these differences matter? Confusing these terms leads to mistakes. For example, fixing low-risk issues while ignoring high-risk ones, or reacting emotionally instead of analytically. OSCP expects you to reason clearly. This clarity becomes critical during the exam. Learning Objective 3. List and describe different classes of threat actor. Not all attackers are the same. Different attackers have different motivations, different skills, and different resources. Understanding threat actors helps you understand intent. Cybercriminals. Cybercriminals are usually motivated by money. They target financial data, credentials, and personal information. Common techniques include phishing, ransomware, and fraud. Cybercriminals often aim for scale. They attack many systems, hoping some will succeed. Hacktivists. Hacktivists are motivated by ideology. They target organizations they disagree with, want to embarrass, or want to disrupt. Their goal is often visibility, not financial gain. Insider threats. Insider threats come from within organizations. They may be malicious, careless, or unaware. Insiders already have access. This makes them particularly dangerous. Many security incidents involve insiders, either directly or indirectly. Nation-state actors. Nation-state actors are highly resourced. They are often patient and strategic. They may target governments, infrastructure, research, or military systems. These actors often use advanced techniques and long-term campaigns. Why threat actor classification matters. Understanding threat actors helps determine security priorities, defensive investment, and acceptable risk. Not every organization faces every threat. Security must be context-aware. Learning Objective 4. Recognize some recent cyber attacks. Cybersecurity is not theoretical. Attacks happen regularly. Most major breaches share common themes. Common causes of real-world attacks. Most attacks result from weak authentication, exposed services, missing patches, and misconfigurations. These are not advanced problems. They are basic security failures. Why this matters for OSCP. OSCP does not focus on rare exotic attacks. It focuses on realistic scenarios, common weaknesses, and practical exploitation. Attackers succeed by exploiting what is common, not what is rare. This learning unit explains how threats emerge, how attackers think, how defenders respond, and why clarity in security language matters. The next
errors. Because of this, security cannot rely on a single defense. This leads to a principle known as defense in depth. What is defense in depth? Defense in depth means using multiple layers of security controls so that if one layer fails, others still exist. Think of security as a series of barriers, not a single wall. An attacker may bypass one control, but must bypass many to succeed fully. Examples of defense in depth. An organization might use network firewalls, system authentication, application permissions, monitoring and logging, and incident response procedures. Each layer addresses different risks. No layer alone is sufficient. Together, they reduce overall risk. Why this matters for OSCP? In OSCP labs and exam scenarios, you will often see layered defenses. You are expected to identify each layer, understand its purpose, and find weaknesses between layers. Defense in depth creates complexity, and complexity creates opportunity for mistakes. Learning Objective 2. Describe threat intelligence and its applications in an organization. Threat intelligence is about knowledge. It involves collecting and analyzing information about attackers, attack techniques, and emerging threats. Threat intelligence helps organizations make informed security decisions. Sources of threat intelligence. Threat intelligence can come from internal incident data, public breach reports, security research, and industry sharing groups. This information helps organizations understand what attackers are doing now, what techniques are increasing, and which threats are relevant to them. How threat intelligence is used. Organizations use threat intelligence to prioritize security controls, improve detection, and focus monitoring efforts. Instead of defending against everything equally, they defend against likely threats. This improves efficiency and effectiveness. Offensive perspective. From an offensive perspective, understanding threat intelligence helps you see what defenders may be watching, what behavior triggers alerts, and how detection influences attack paths. This knowledge becomes important as you move deeper into penetration testing. Learning Objective 3. Learn why access and user privileges should be restricted as much as possible. This learning objective introduces one of the most important security principles, the principle of least privilege. What is least privilege? Least privilege means users should have only the access they need, nothing more. If a user does not need access to something, they should not have it. This applies to users, services, applications, and administrators. Why least privilege matters? Most security incidents escalate. An attacker gains small access first, then moves to greater access. If privileges are excessive, escalation becomes easier. If privileges are restricted, damage is limited. Common violations of least privilege. Organizations often violate this principle by giving users admin access, by reusing shared accounts, and by not removing old permissions. These shortcuts increase risks significantly. OSCP labs frequently demonstrate how excessive privileges lead to compromise. Learning Objective 4. Understand why security should not depend on secrecy. Security should not depend on secrecy. This idea is often summarized as security through obscurity is not security. What is security through obscurity? Security through obscurity assumes attackers do not know system details. Secrecy itself provides protection. Examples include hidden admin pages, undocumented interfaces, and proprietary implementations. Why this fails? Attackers assume systems can be studied. Source code leaks, configurations are exposed, behavior reveals design. If security depends on secrecy, it will eventually fail. Strong security assumes attackers know the system. Controls must still hold. This principle influences modern security design. Learning Objective 5. Identify policies that can mitigate threats to an organization. Security is not only technical, it is also organizational. Policies define acceptable behavior, responsibilities, and procedures. Without policies, security controls are inconsistent. Types of security policies. Common policies include acceptable use policies, access control policies, incident response policies, and data handling policies. Policies guide how people interact with systems. They reduce ambiguity. Why policies matter? Most security failures involve humans. Policies help set expectations, reduce mistakes, and support enforcement. They also provide a basis for accountability and compliance. Learning Objective 6. Determine which controls an organization can use to mitigate cybersecurity threats. Security controls are measures used to reduce risk. Controls fall into different categories. Types of security controls. Controls may be technical, firewalls, authentication, administrative, policies, training, or physical, locks, access badges. No category alone is sufficient. Effective security combines all three. Choosing the right controls. Controls must be selected based on threat model, risk tolerance, and business needs. Over-securing systems can harm productivity. Under-securing systems increases risk. Security is about balance. This learning unit explains how security is implemented in practice using principles, strategies, and controls. The next learning unit will introduce cybersecurity laws, regulations, standards, and frameworks, which define external requirements and expectations.
Up to now, we have focused on how security works in practice inside systems and organizations. Now we move to another critical layer of cybersecurity: external expectations. Cybersecurity does not exist only because of attackers. It also exists because of laws, regulations, and standards. Organizations are not free to secure systems however they want. They must meet legal and regulatory requirements. This learning unit explains why those requirements exist and how they shape cybersecurity decisions. Learning Unit 5: Cybersecurity Laws, Regulations, Standards, and Frameworks. Learning Objective 1: Gain a broad understanding of legal and regulatory issues. Cybersecurity is not only a technical responsibility, it is also a legal obligation. Organizations collect, store, and process data. That data often belongs to customers, employees, partners, and governments. Because of this, laws exist to protect that data. Why cybersecurity laws exist? Cybersecurity laws exist to protect privacy, reduce harm from breaches, and hold organizations accountable. Without laws, organizations might ignore security until serious damage occurs. Legal requirements force organizations to treat security as a priority. What happens when laws are ignored? When organizations fail to meet legal requirements, consequences can include financial penalties, lawsuits, regulatory investigations, and loss of trust. In many cases, the damage to reputation is worse than the fine itself. Cybersecurity failures are no longer hidden. They become public events. Security as a business risk. Because of legal exposure, cybersecurity becomes a business risk, not just a technical problem. Executives and managers care about compliance, liability, and reputation. This influences budgets, priorities, and security strategies. As a penetration tester, you must understand that your findings have legal and business impact. Learning Objective 2: Understand different frameworks and standards. Laws often define what must be protected, but they rarely explain how to do it. That is where frameworks and standards come in. Frameworks and standards provide structured guidance for building and maintaining security programs. What are security frameworks? A security framework is a set of guidelines. It helps organizations identify risks, define controls, assess maturity, and improve security over time. Frameworks are not tools, they are roadmaps. Why frameworks exist? Cybersecurity is complex. Without structure, security efforts become inconsistent and reactive. Frameworks provide common language, consistent approach, and measurable progress. They help organizations move from chaos to controlled security practices. What are security standards? Standards define specific requirements. They may specify control objectives, implementation guidance, or audit criteria. Standards are often used to demonstrate compliance, pass audits, or meet contractual obligations. Frameworks versus standards. Frameworks are flexible. Standards are more prescriptive. An organization may use a framework for overall strategy, use standards for specific controls. Both are important. Why this matters for OSCP? OSCP does not test legal compliance directly, but understanding frameworks and standards helps you understand defensive environments, recognize why controls exist, and interpret security architecture. Many controls you encounter in labs exist because of regulatory or framework guidance. Real-world impact on security design. Legal and regulatory requirements influence logging, monitoring, access controls, data retention, and incident response. Security is not designed in a vacuum. It is shaped by law, industry expectations, and contractual obligations. As a penetration tester, you operate within these constraints. Understanding compliance versus security. A critical concept to understand is this: compliance does not guarantee security. Compliance means meeting minimum requirements. Security means managing real risk. An organization can be compliant and still be insecure. However, non-compliance often signals deeper problems. OSCP wants you to understand this distinction. Why attackers care about compliance environments. Attackers know which controls are required and where compliance creates blind spots. Sometimes controls are implemented only to satisfy audits, not to stop real attacks. This creates opportunities for exploitation. Understanding this helps you think like an attacker. Continuation marker, no ending. This learning unit explains how external forces like laws and frameworks shape cybersecurity decisions. The final learning unit in this module will focus on career opportunities in cybersecurity and how this knowledge connects to real roles and paths.
Up to this point in Module 2, we have talked about cybersecurity from many angles. We discussed why cybersecurity is difficult, how attackers and defenders interact, what security is trying to protect, how organizations design defenses, and how laws and frameworks shape security decisions. Now we arrive at the final question: how does all of this connect to real careers in cybersecurity? This learning unit helps you understand where this knowledge is actually used and how different roles apply these concepts. Learning Unit 6, Career Opportunities in Cybersecurity. Learning Objective: identify career opportunities in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is not a single job. It is a broad field made up of many roles, each focused on different aspects of security. Understanding these roles helps you set expectations, choose learning paths, understand where OSCP fits. Why cybersecurity has so many roles. Cybersecurity covers prevention, detection, response, recovery, and governance. No single person can do all of this at scale. That is why organizations divide responsibilities across specialized roles. Each role focuses on different problems, different skills, and different priorities. Offensive security roles. Offensive security focuses on finding weaknesses before attackers do. Penetration tester. A penetration tester simulates attacks. Their job is to identify vulnerabilities, exploit weaknesses, and demonstrate real risk. Penetration testers think like attackers, but work for defenders. OSCP is designed primarily for this role. Red Team Operator. Red Team operators simulate advanced attacks. They focus on stealth, persistence, and realistic attack scenarios. Their goal is to test detection, response, and organizational readiness. Red Team roles usually require strong technical skill, deep understanding of attacker behavior. Defensive security roles. Defensive roles focus on protecting systems and responding to attacks. Blue Team Analyst. Blue Team analysts monitor systems. They focus on logs, alerts, and suspicious activity. Their goal is early detection. They often work with CM systems, monitoring tools, and incident reports. Incident Responder. Incident responders act during security events. They investigate breaches, contain attacks, and support recovery. Their work is high pressure and time sensitive. Strong foundational knowledge is critical here. Engineering and architecture roles. Some roles focus on building secure systems. Security engineer. Security engineers design and implement controls. They work on authentication, access control, encryption, and monitoring. They translate security principles into real systems. Security architect. Security architects design security at a high level. They consider risk, compliance, and scalability. Their decisions shape long-term security posture. Governance, risk, and compliance roles. Not all cybersecurity roles are technical. GRC analyst. GRC roles focus on policies, risk assessment, and compliance. They ensure organizations meet legal requirements, follow standards, and document controls. These roles require strong conceptual understanding, even if they are not hands-on. Where OSCP fits in cybersecurity careers. OSCP is an offensive security certification, but the knowledge you gain is broader. OSCP teaches you how systems fail, how attackers think, and how defenses can be bypassed.
This understanding helps in blue team roles, engineering roles, and architecture roles. Even if you don't remain a penetration tester forever, the OSCP mindset carries forward. Why foundational knowledge matters for every role. Regardless of role, everyone in cybersecurity must understand threats, risk, controls, and attacker behavior. Without this foundation, tools are misused, alerts are misunderstood, and controls are poorly designed. This is why Module 2 exists. It ensures that when you move into technical modules, you are not learning blindly. Connecting Module 2 back to PEN-200. Module 2 is not about hacking, it is about context. Every exploit you use later exists within a threat model, a risk scenario, and a defensive environment. Understanding cybersecurity as a whole makes technical exploitation meaningful. And Module 2 consolidation. Let's bring everything together. In Module 2, you learned why cybersecurity is a unique and difficult practice, how attackers and defenders interact, what threats, vulnerabilities, exploits, and risk mean, what the CIA Triad protects, how organizations apply security principles and controls, why laws and frameworks shape security decisions, where cybersecurity careers actually exist. This module builds clarity. Clarity is what allows you to move confidently into technical exploitation. As you move forward in the PEN-200 course, remember this: tools change, exploits evolve, but principles remain. Continue to the next module with this foundation in mind. This is how OSCP is meant to be learned, not by rushing, but by understanding.